gold text is gorgeous, and it's really not that hard to design. In this class, we're going to take 3 colors and combine them to create this beautiful gold text. And then using your favorite quote and beautiful typography, in a few short minutes, you can make art prints for yourself, for your friends and family, and even to sell online. This class does require Adobe Illustrator, and if you don't already have it, just go to adobe.com and download your free trial. Your class project is to take everything that you've learned in this class and create a beautiful gold text quote ready for framing. I hope you join me in class. I really look forward to seeing everybody's work in the project gallery. Hello and welcome to class. In this lesson, we're going to set up our Adobe Illustrator workspace with an artboard, and then we're going to make new swatch colors that will create the gold text that we'll be using for this project. Let's start by coming to File, New. You can name it anything you like. I'm going to call this Gold Quote. The size of the artboard is going to be letter size in inches, which is a regular letter size of 8.5 wide by 11 tall, and I'm going to press OK. I like this size because everybody's got regular letter size paper for their printer, and also you can cut down a little bit of the edges so it will fit an 8 by 10 frame. Now we're going to create new swatch colors. These are the colors that we're going to be using for this project. I'm just going to move them over here. I already decided on these colors and wanted to teach you how to create new swatches from colors that you find either on the internet or that you create on your own. So the first thing we're going to do is click the little rectangle box, and we're just going to duplicate pretty much what I just did here. So now it's selected. I'm going to come over to the eyedropper tool and click the first color, and it will create a new box. Now I'm going to make another rectangle. It'll default on the last color that I used, and I'm going to come over to the eyedropper and select our second color. And now we're going to create a new box. It'll default again to the last color that I used. I'm going to come over to the eyedrop tool and then select that third color. Now let's make swatches out of these colors. So coming up to the top, the little arrow, and click, and you'll find new swatch. So the new swatch color is the last color that we were on, which is this creamy color. Let's name it Gold Quote 1. And there it is. It appears as Gold Quote 1 in our swatches. Now I'm just going to come over, tap on the second color, and create a new swatch from it. I'm going to call this Gold Quote 2. And there it is again. Now let's put that last color, the darkest color, here by just clicking on it. Create a new swatch color. Gold Quote 3. And there's the colors that we'll be using. In the next lesson, we're going to add our quote to the artboard, select some nice fonts, and then create the gradient from these colors to make a nice gold and add it to our font, and then we'll add a background as well. See you in the next lesson. Hello and welcome back to class. In this lesson, we're going to select a quote from the internet and then just paste it onto our artboard. I really like this Upton Sinclair quote saying that it's difficult to get a man to understand something when his salary depends upon his not understanding it. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to copy, move back over to Adobe Illustrator, paste, and it's just formatting the way that it was on the internet. While it's still selected, I'm going to pick one of my very favorite fonts. You can go through these as well. This is Bromello, and I'm going to select it 72. So of course it's going to run right off the page, and what I'll do is come over to text and then decide where I want to move it into the next lines. So it is difficult to get. I'm going to go before the A and then enter to make a new line. It is difficult to get a man to understand, and now I'm just going to put the text tool in front of the S, something when his salary, again I'll just put there, depends upon Let's move the page down. His not understanding it. Okay, that's kind of going off a little bit. So let me backspace here and move that there. Very good. I like that. I'm going to center it and then put it in the middle of my page. And to do that, I'm going to come up to X, and the X factor is the Y, or the width. And what we do is we take half the width to get it to the center. So we have an 8.5 wide page, so half of that is 4.25, and then it moves the text over. Y is how tall it is. We have an 11-inch tall page. Half of that is 5.5, and it's just going to center everything there. Let's see how that looks. I quite like it. Now what I'm going to do is, because I want to color the insides of the letter, the fill of the letter, with a gradient color that we're going to create from these colors to give the text a gold effect, I'm going to now come up to Object and Expand. While everything's selected, Expand. And I'm going to expand the object and the fill. And by doing that, it's now going to allow me to create the gradient on the inside of the text. In the next lesson, we're going to create that gradient gold and apply it to the text and then add a background. See you in the next lesson. Welcome back to class. In this lesson, we're going to set up a gradient bar using these 3 colors to create a nice shimmering gold. So to do that, you want to make sure that we have gradient selected. So I'm just going to come up here and just grab the black and white. It's linear at the moment and there's no angle. We might play with that a little bit later. So the first thing we want to do is add the lighter colors to the ends. So I'm going to take that light color, let's grab it from here, the light color, and drag it down and put it in the little paint pail and drag it again to this side. Now let's take the darkest color and move it about a third in, and the medium color and move that quite close to it. And now let's put the darker color again over here. And you can move these if you like. Let's see, I might move that a little bit and put a little bit of that nice light color in there. So you can see how it gives a bit of a shimmer. And you can move these along. I'm going to leave that and then see if we want to make any changes. So I'm going to select the entire text and we've expanded it. So now when we just come up here to click, we've got the fill selected and no stroke. Let's just click that and see what happens. So here we go. I'm going to come nice little closer. So you see how it has sort of that shimmer gold look? It looks just like this. We're going from left to right and it's got a bit of a shimmer. I want it to go up and down. So I'm going to zoom out again, select everything, and I'm going to make this now a 90-degree angle and just enter. So now it goes up and down. It goes vertically. So you can play with this, see if you like it. We can even try a different angle. Let's do a 60-degree angle. So now things are going this way. And just for fun, let's try the radial, just for fun. So this is kind of getting a bit of a zebra effect. I'm going to go back to the linear. Now I'm going to try and use fewer colors and see what happens. So I'm going to go back to the start. Let's do a light color in the center and the dark color in this pot, and we'll do the medium color in this pot. So we're just going to use this. Actually, I'm going to move that along there a little bit. Okay, let's see. It's already selected. And take a look. So this is a little softer. I rather like this better instead of using all the different colors. But you can experiment and see where you like it. I like it this way. I'm going to keep it here. Now I don't need these colors anymore, so I'm just going to select them all and backspace to get rid of them. And I want to put a background behind my text. So I'm going to click. Now this what I'm going to do here is make it 8 wide by 10 because I do want to frame this. So I'm just going to press OK. It's going to go to my default, which is the gradient bronzes and browns that we use to create the gold. But what we're going to do here is just change it to, I'm going to change it to black for now. Coming up to the X, I'm going to make it our whole page size divided by 2. And Y divided by 2, and then I'm going to have to click that and bring it to back. So I'm arrange and sending it to the back. I love gold and black together. I'm going to leave it with the black. So from here you can just come up to File and export it, and you can export it to a PDF or a JPEG, print it off, and then you have a really nice gold text framed quote. Thank you for taking this class. I look forward to seeing your quotes done up this way in the project gallery. I'll see you in the next class.